I'm here, guys. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My phone's a little crooked. I think it'll be okay, though. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Well, I just want to say a hearty good morning to everybody. And thank you for coming to my channel to view these videos. And I just want to say welcome back to viewers who have already been here, and welcome to first-time viewers. And my name is Roxy, and this is Threads of Knowledge Media, TKM. And this video is going to be entitled Raw and Rebounding. Now you're probably wondering, what in the world is raw? Raw footage, like what is that? Well, you can see what the rebounder is, but I'm going to tell you why I'm able to rebound again. So, let's get started. It's raining outside, and it's a beautiful day, but I just really don't want to go walking in the rain. Till it lets up a little bit. Although it is a beautiful day, the grass is starting to turn green. Spring is on the way. Yay! And anyways, we're still gonna have some cold days, but it's okay. So we're just gonna exercise inside. You know the rebounder. The rebounder is the time on the rebounder is worth a lot of exercise. In other words, 10 minutes on the rebounder is worth like an hour of exercise, of other kind of exercise. It is impactful, and it is very beneficial to the body. It's very beneficial to draining the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is a fluid in your body which is in the lymph nodes system, and this drain, when this is draining properly, it's draining a lot of toxins out of our body, and it's important that the lymphatic system drains. Otherwise we have toxins that are just sitting in our body, and poor circulation, and we have inflammation because of that. And so it's important to get that lymphatic system draining. There's a lot of levels to the lymphatic system, starting from your head all the way down to your feet, and these should be draining. The only reason I know some about it, just a little bit about it, is because I've done research on it before, and it is imperative that our lymphatic system be draining, and that we be getting good circulation. Now, the up and down movement, what I'm doing right now is called a health bounce. My knees are slightly bent, and you can even go shift your weight from side to side like this. But this is called a health bounce. My feet are not leaving the rebounder. It's a gentle up and down motion that's causing my lymphatic system to drain. And even just the health bounce. Now there's some hardcore rebounding exercises out there. Some hardcore choreography for this rebounder. And I have tried some of it before. It is difficult, and it'll really get you moving, but it's almost not necessary to go so crazy on the rebounder, because just the health bounce alone is so beneficial. And also, I just want to say, the reason that this is so good is because there's no impact. There's no impact on the feet. There's no impact on the knees and your joints, and it's very important that we're able to walk freely. And so this is, there's no impact on the spine. There's a lot of things involved here that are so beneficial to the body. And it's such a good choice. It's such a good choice for exercising. Okay. Now, I want to share with you what the raw is. So, I'm so excited because I had injured my right knee, and I don't know how. I injured it. I couldn't walk on it. I couldn't bend it. I couldn't. It was so horrible, and it was such a horrible experience, and it was so aggravating because I'm normally able to just do whatever I want to do. Like I was still in my 30s or something, I'm not used to being where I can't do stuff. I've never had knee problems. I've always been able to kneel and, do what I need to do. And recently I started, well, pretty recently, but 3 years ago actually, or more, like almost 4 years ago, I started redoing furniture and repurposing furniture, and that's a lot of moving around and bending and doing all kinds of stuff to a piece of furniture. And so I have to be able to move around and do stuff. I can't be like, I can't have a bad knee and successfully do things. I mean, whatever you're doing, just moving around, just doing housework. I remember I had to ask my son to vacuum because I couldn't push the vacuum, because you don't realize when you're doing things how much you use your knees to put, like inertia into, movements that you're making. Well, the raw part is this. And even my left knee started hurting. And I thought, okay, this is ridiculous. Well, I honestly do not know how it happened, but I came upon raw diet. I came upon raw foodies that are on, and I don't want to call them foodies because it's not like they're just, oh, well, we just want to eat raw because of the food, because it's so good or whatever. They are a wonderful group of people that realize where they were before and where they are now, all because of raw food. And we cook too much of our food. The enzymes are gone, and all the benefits, the nutrition, the minerals, the vitamins, all the nutritional benefits are cooked out of our food. And you're left with, basically, you're eating a bunch of fiber, basically. And your body's absorption is not working as it should. And let me tell you something. Because of the raw food diet, I can use my rebounder again. I wasn't even able to use my rebounder. My knees hurt. My feet hurt. I would get up in the middle of the night, to go use the restroom or get some water. And I was like, why are my feet hurting so bad? I'm not even 60 years old yet. What's going on? And I was just like, this is ridiculous. This shouldn't be happening. And so I couldn't even rebound. I tried to rebound because even my spine hurt. It was like you were hurting my back by I was just like, this is so ridiculous. I'm not that old. Okay. So, I have grandchildren, and we often get our grandchildren, and me and my husband, and I have to be able to get around. You know, I've got stuff to do, and my own family, my own household, my own business, whatever I need to do. And I can't be having this nonsense. Okay, no. So, anyway, so I just want to say, try the raw diet. I've only been on it for like a month. For about 4 weeks, maybe even a little more. I've only been on it for about that long. My knees don't hurt anymore. I have full range of motion in my knees. Nothing hurts. Even I have early arthritis, signs of arthritis in my finger, in my knuckles. And they were hurting all the time. I was like, I can't stand this. No. And I don't want to go get pharmaceuticals. Absolutely not. And I thought, well, I've been, whole food, plant-based since, like 10 years ago. Why is this happening to me? I'm eating healthy. What's going on? I did know that I needed to stay away from wheat because wheat is highly inflammatory. But all these manufactured food, chips, even though you look at the recipe and you see all these healthy ingredients on it, these manufactured foods, like for instance, there were some cassava chips that are really tasty, and these recipes were brought by a family, that wanted healthier living, healthy, as far as chips go, but they're still manufactured. They're still processed foods, and we don't need to be eating processed foods because it's really not food. Make our own. I'm getting ready to make some crackers. Simple ingredients, nuts and seeds, and super simple ingredients, and a little bit of salt and some water. How simple can you get? You know what's in it. But anyways, aside from that, I could get carried away. But try the raw food diet and see what the benefits are for you, because the benefits for me, and I'm not trying to sell anybody anything. I just am so excited because of what it's done for me. In the first week that I went raw, in the first week, I lost 10 pounds. What does that tell you? I wasn't trying to lose weight, but I knew that I shouldn't be gaining weight like I was. What does that tell you, that I lost 10 pounds in the first week alone? It means there was a lot of fluid, inflammation, and weight gain, visceral fat that should not have been on my body. And it came off because the raw food drove it out. The raw food will drive out things in your body that don't belong there, and it'll drive out inflammation. You got to do your research on it, though. You've got to understand some things, and it's a learning process, and it's a process, and there's a progression that goes with it. So, Bobo, be good. That's my kitty, our little kitty. But anyways, he gets to be a stinker sometimes. But anyway, what I'm going to tell you is that I am going to start rebounding again. And I'm going to just do the health bounce. I saw this lady on YouTube. I don't remember her name. I don't know where I found it. But I saw this lady, and she was doing the health bounce for 30 days. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the health bounce for 30 days. And she noticed the benefits, and she was surprised. And she was just like, she felt like at first that, maybe she wasn't doing enough. But she was just going to see what the benefits were of just doing the health bounce for 30 days. So I'm going to do the same thing. And take things slow. Listen to your body. Listen to what your body's telling you, because your body will tell on you, especially as you get older. So I'm going to time myself for 10 minutes. You don't have to stay the whole time. You can if you want to watch me bounce and listen to me yap. But I'm going to time myself for 10 minutes. It is now 10 after 9 in the morning. And so I'm going to go till 10:20. And I'm going to do this for 30 days. You can do different things with your arms. Like this. But I'm going to do the health bounce for 30 days and find out what the benefits are. I've done rebounding before, of course, before my knees started hurting bad and my spine was hurting and all the stuff. I thought my spine was hurting because of old back injury. I hurt my back when I was in my 20s. My late 20s. I hurt my back. I had a back injury, and I thought it was because of that. Really, honestly. But aside from that, everything else hurting. I was like, why is everything hurting? This is ridiculous. I don't want to live my life like this. I even told my husband, like, how are there 90-year-olds even walking around? Because, if this is what old age is like, this is ridiculous. I can't live like this. But anyways, right now I'm in the process of learning, different recipes and how to go about making raw food delightful. And folks, I mean, when I went to whole food plant-based, it was a whole new world of food. But when you go raw, it's opens up a whole other world of food that you didn't know was there. I've discovered so many wonderful herbs and vegetables, and just how to use them. And you can juice things. You can do raw juices, which are wonderful. You can do fruit. You can do fruit bowls, or you can do raw fruit smoothies. I mean, there's just, I made an avocado pudding that is so delicious. It's like, I also noticed that since I've been on the raw diet, I don't have that desire for so much sweet, because I've always had a sweet tooth. All my teeth are sweet. And I've always loved sweets. And there was a time before I went whole food plant-based, I was always like, okay, what's for dessert? There's gotta be dessert here somewhere. That was like the highlight. I would almost not care too much about my food. Okay, food's fine, whatever. And I just couldn't wait to get to the dessert part. So one thing I have noticed, even when I was, still cooking most of my food, I still desired a dessert, something sweet. I don't know what that comes from. I still, have to do some research into that, why that happens to some people. I do like savory foods, not really salty, but I do like savory. But I kept wanting dessert, kept wanting that sweet thing at the end of my meal. And I just don't desire that anymore, because this raw diet that I've been on, it's so fulfilling. It has so many benefits. And it's weird. I can just say, this is just my own experience. I just don't have that longing desire to have something sweet. But I will say this, if you make the avocado pudding, Bobo, be good. If you make the avocado pudding, which is totally healthy, there's nothing in it that destroys cells. There's nothing in it that feeds cancer cells. A lot of the sugar that people are eating is just feeding cancer cells. That's why you hear so many people getting cancer. And the fat stores that are happening, and these oily foods, high caloric oily foods, high fats and high oils and all this stuff is causing people to have strokes at a young age, and heart failure, and death, and heart disease, and all these things happening, organs shutting down, kidney failure, and problems with their liver, and it's because of what we eat. God above, our Creator, has told us that He wants us to be in good health. That you can read that in 1 John. And He tells us that, I'm timing myself, I got 5 more minutes. I need to start jumping a little bit. Just a health bounce. I was slowing down a little bit, getting distracted. But God tells us He wants us to be in good health. He wants nothing more than to see us prosper and be in good health. And that's not talking about money prosper. He'll take care of us as far as that goes. If we're obedient to Him, we will have no worries. If you go back and look and read in the Bible, His people didn't want for anything. The ones that were obedient to Him, that chose to follow Him, come what may, they didn't have to worry about things like that, like material things. God always took care of them, and He will always take care of you. But if you live in obedience, God's telling us that He has provided in Genesis 1:29 and 30. He's telling us what He's given us for food. And in the Garden of Eden, they didn't cook their food because He wanted, of course, they did have the tree of life. That's true. But He gave, even the animals were eating the herbs of the field because He wanted the animals to be healthy. What's happened to our animals today? They're full of disease. They're full of disease. Sin has entered the world, and things just are not the same as they were in the Garden of Eden. And even the animals are suffering. But at least we can make a choice. And it has a lot to do with mankind, what they're doing with the animals, the things they're feeding the animals, the things they're injecting the animals with, the poor animals, okay? And mankind is will eventually have to take accountability. If it's not now, there will be a punishment for mistreating the animals. But anyway, I feel my sinus is draining. I do not have a cold. My sinuses are not bothering me this morning. But when you're doing this health bounce, the lymphatic system is going to start draining. And you'll think, oh, I'm getting sick. Why am I getting sick? I heard a naturopathic doctor. I just want to say, God wants us to be healthy. He created us to be healthy. He didn't create us to be sick. He didn't create us to be dead. He created us to be living, breathing creatures. And if you feed yourself live food, I like to always say, if you eat live food, you have a live person. If you eat cooked food, you have a cooked person. If you eat dead food, which would be dead animals, you have a dead person. It makes perfect sense. Anyways, what was I going to say? I'm so sorry. That my mind jumps around. Oh, I was talking about my sinuses draining. This is showing that this bounce is working. I'm not sick. Oh, the doctor, the naturopathic doctor. His name is Dr. Cross. Okay. I don't know. I don't want to do something that I shouldn't be doing, but I guess it's okay to mention other people's names, but I don't. Anyways, his name is Walt Cross. Okay. I would love for you to go see what Walt Cross shares with people. He used to be a mainstream medical doctor, and he became a naturopathic doctor. And there was a group of patients he was telling about, and they all started rebounding. And the next day, they were all, had sinuses, and it's not because it was making them sick, but it was because their lymphatic system was finally draining like it should. That up and down motion. There's something about that up and down motion. Oh, another thing I want to mention. Did you know that you have what's called a second heart? You have this heart, and then you have a second heart. When your blood, when the heart pumps the blood down into your extremities, into your feet, leg, that direction, something has to return that blood. And there's what they call a second heart in your calves, in the back of your leg. And that has to be properly functioning to return that blood back to the heart. Because you know what happens? If those arteries are not healthy and they're pumping that blood back like they're supposed to, bad things happen. That's bad. That blood has to circulate. We have to have circulating blood. We have to have plenty of water, fresh air, exercise, good nutrition, rest. We have to trust in God. That's the most important thing, is trusting in the divine power. Okay, I've gone past my 10 minutes. I'm going to end this video. Thank you for being with me. Please like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell for new videos. I'm just getting started. I always ask for patience, please. And thank you. And we'll see you on the next video. God bless you. Be healthy. Raw and rebounding. I have to go up to my phone to turn it off. We'll see you again soon. Yay! I feel so good.